What's up, family? Happy Thursday. Super excited that you have allowed me to share just a little bit of time with you tonight. I don't take it for granted. You could be doing anything with your time, literally, but you decided to give me just a little bit of it. And I'm honored. Listen, we typically take this time out on Thursdays for our inside out Bible study because we realize that Jesus is enough, but Sunday is not enough. We realize that you can go to heaven just by going to church on Sunday, but it'd be really hard for you to bring heaven to earth just by consuming a sermon on Sunday. We believe that God wants us to be kingdom ambassadors. And in order for us to do that effectively, we have to grow from the inside out. Tonight, however, I really want to make just a small pivot and share something with you that I recorded for our church planting organization for Impact City Church around the why, around the heart, the vision behind our church plant, and why we have chosen to do missional ministry here in Spartanburg, South Carolina. It will show you the heart behind our mission work, that we don't have to go across seas to a third world country to do mission work when we have mission work right in our backyards. Some of the things I share may be difficult for you. It may bring up some hard emotions. And I want you to not shy away from those. I want you to lean into those emotions because if there's something that is giving you a hard emotion, something you feel strongly about, it may be something that you're called to do something about. Your purpose is an answer to a problem. I want you to lean in, my friend. And I'll be right back after the video. See you then. Well, hey, family. Super excited to share some time with you today. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Andre Ashford. My wife, Amber, and I are planting a missional church here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, with the guidance, the coaching, and the assistance of our good friends at Mission Alive. And we're super excited about what God has already been doing. What he's doing now, and just what God is getting ready to do. We are working with great anticipation for what God is getting ready to do through this movement here in upstate South Carolina. So briefly want to share, we moved from Olive Branch, Mississippi. I am a Mississippi native. Grew up in a small town called Senatobia, Mississippi. If you blink twice, you probably going down the highway, you wouldn't even know it exists. And then I married a girl from Memphis, and we got married and we moved right there on the state line in Olive Branch, Mississippi. And so about 4 years ago, a little over 4 years ago, we were afforded the opportunity to come to Spartanburg, South Carolina to work in ministry as an intern. Myself personally, to be an associate minister and work as an intern at a traditional church. And prior to that, I knew God was calling me to plant a church. I just did not know what that church would look like and how that church would operate. And throughout the years here in Spartanburg, I started feeling a unction. I started feeling prompted to really reach those that are currently being unreached. Even though we're in the Bible Belt here in Spartanburg, South Carolina, even though there's a church on every corner, there's still a great need for different expressions of church. And I believe that missional ecclesiology, a missional church, is one of the ways that God chooses to reach the unreached. And that's the burden, the passion I have, is to reach those who are unchurched, those who are de-churched, and those that are simply over-churched. And so I reached out to a mentor, Dr. Paul Day. I said, listen, I know you have planted a work. I know that your work is flourishing. I know that you are doing great things there in Dallas. And I want you to mentor me. Can you really share with me how to do this in a healthy way? And he said, listen, I'll do it but I want you to do something first. I want you to connect with Mission Alive. And so he connected me with Todd, and the ball started rolling downhill from there. And so zooming into what we believe God is calling us to do here, specifically in our city, in Spartanburg, South Carolina, is to engage one of the most marginalized, one of the most hardest ground to till here in Spartanburg is an area on the north side of Spartanburg called the Robert Smalls Apartments. This is considered like the hood of our city. And the whole backstory of this is a group of people, predominantly Black and brown people, who formerly lived in an apartment complex butted up against downtown Spartanburg called the Norris Ridge Apartments. And historically, the Norris Ridge Apartments were rundown, Section 8, boarded up apartments, dilapidated almost. And it is strategically placed near downtown Spartanburg. And for those who are not familiar with this area, Spartanburg and Greenville and this area here in upstate South Carolina is one of the fastest growing areas in our nation right now. I believe last year the numbers came out that more U-Hauls were dropped off here than anywhere in the country. I want you to get that. That means our area is growing. And there's opportunity from the outside in. It looks like a very flourishing place. It looks like a place of opportunity. It looks like a place that's popping, that's happening. However, the reality for most of the residents here who are natives here is that it doesn't quite add up to be opportunity. We are strategically placed in a high growth area between Charlotte, North Carolina, and Atlanta. A lot of people are coming here, young families, young business owners, young entrepreneurs, young career people. And at the same time, as one demographic is benefiting and flourishing, there's another demographic that is not doing too well. We have data on the ALICE population. ALICE means, it's an acronym for Asset Limited, Income Constrained Employed. That means these are people who have a job, they are working, and they're still asset limited, income constrained, meaning they aren't homeless, but they're just above. They're one breakdown in their car away from being homeless. They are one tire blowout. They are one water heater break in their home. They are one mishap away from a very sticky situation. And the population of those who are in ALICE in Spartanburg County is about 30% of the population. And these are the numbers from back in 2024. I don't have updated numbers, but I would guesstimate that it's more around 40% as we speak. So that's the whole county. If we zero in to our neighborhood and our zip code here in Spartanburg, the numbers actually fluctuate between 60% and about 65% of the households. So that means over half the population in our area, specifically in the zip code of the neighborhood that my wife and I have decided to walk alongside people, over half of the people are asset limited, income constrained, and they're employed. But if we take a deeper look, even further down the rabbit hole into this specific apartment complex that I'm talking about, it is the majority of the residents are elderly, disabled, and they're taking care of young children of those who are working and being asset limited, income constrained. So, in other words, extreme poverty. And along with extreme poverty, Along with marginalization comes high crime, comes theft, comes murder, comes gang violence. And that is a snapshot of the news reels of this area. And the majority of the people that we see that is being plastered on the news from our city has been linked back to living in this apartment complex. And that is something that breaks my heart. It is the causation and correlation conversation. It is low value, low agency, low hope, because I have low income, because I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pay my bills. I'm trying to figure out where my next meal is going to come from. And even if I have my meals covered, government assistance, even if I have low rent, I'm still not able to flourish in life because of the extenuating situations. And these are the people I see, like Brandon, who will literally go outside every day and indulge in gang activity. Not because he necessarily wants to, but that's the only sign of fulfillment he gets. That's the only people that actually take time out to love him, quote unquote, to spend time with him and to engage with him and not look at him as a threat. Not look at him like he is the boogeyman. Not look at him and clutch my pearls and my purse when you come through. It is people like Brandon that my wife and I have decided and have committed to walking alongside, not to preach gospel, but to be gospel, to be walking good news. It's people like the young ladies who may have had children early in life, who did not finish high school, who did not go and get a college degree. So now they work at a fast food restaurant and work all type of hours, mostly night. So guess who's at home with the babies? It's grandma who's sick and has an oxygen tank that's in these apartments. And by the way, the living conditions of these apartments is another thorn, because even though these apartments, Robert Small's apartments, were built to replace the Norris Ridge apartments I was telling you about earlier, that were dilapidated, that were boarded up. Robert Small's apartments were built because the private developer and the city made an agreement because they want that land where Norris Ridge was, because it's close to downtown. They made an agreement, hey, build some new apartments, some low cost of living apartments, some Section 8 apartments, some HUD housing, that we can move these people from downtown to a better living condition. But if you go and do some research on our apartment complex, you will see that even though they were built about 3.5-4 years ago, the majority of our residents have been living without HVAC, meaning they've been cold in the winter and they've been hot in the summer. Majority of our residents have subpar flooring. As a matter of fact, there was an elderly lady that fell through the floor of her new build apartment over here in Robert Small's apartments, which then adds another layer of distrust, another layer of hopelessness, another layer of no one cares about us. I tell you all that just to say, our work here is going to be pivotal, not just for individuals, but it's going to be pivotal for our whole city, because we are engaging in trust work. We are literally walking alongside people daily, weekly, just to show them I care about you. Just being present enough for them to understand I did not come to give you a goodie bag and invite you to church. I'm not doing a bait and switch with you. I'm here because I'm your neighbor and I love you and I care about this neighborhood. So if it looks like having a meal with you once a week with no strings attached, just so you can understand that there are people who love you just for you, not for what you can do, not for what I can get out of you, but simply to love you because you're worthy of love. If it looks like you see me walking through the neighborhood and I'm just picking up trash, and you come over and ask me why, simply because I love this neighborhood and I love you. And I don't want us to be a trashy neighborhood. I don't want us to look like we don't care about the neighborhood because somebody in the neighborhood cares about us. If it looks like, hey, me and a gang of friends are just going to find someone's home that looks run down, and we partner together to just paint the house, to restore any metal railing, to bring that property value up to where it looks so good on the outside, it don't even look like it's related to the rest of the neighborhood. If we just do that, and they ask us why, simply because we love our neighbors and we love our neighborhood. And as we do these things, as we're present, as we're walking the neighborhood and praying with people and seeing how we can meet needs and connecting them with organizations that are already well established, that have maybe financial resources, that have maybe food pantries, that have places where they can get clothing. As we act as the connector, because they trust us, we can recommend them to trusted partners and begin to evolve our neighborhood from the inside out. And I believe that will open the door for Nicodemus to climb that tree, or Nicodemus, to come to me at night, or come to us at night and say, hey, teach me about the kingdom. Or it'll open the door for Zacchaeus to climb the tree, to hear more about kingdom, to hear more about gospel. Why? Because he's seeing the impact of what's going on in the neighborhood. It would open the door for that woman to press her way through the crowd, to just touch the hem of his garment, so to speak. Because all these years, she's been struggling with an issue, and there hasn't been any resolution. But because we are present, because we are walking alongside people, she now has access to reach out and actually touch something tangible that can change her whole life. So essentially, our mission in the nutshell is to help as many people as possible encounter Jesus, grow in community, and make an impact in the world. We want to see a community of people who literally know the life-giving love of Jesus, not just philosophically, but literally. And we believe that if we are present with people long enough, they'll begin to know, to like, and to trust us. After they know, they like, and they trust us like a family member, like a neighbor, like a friend, we begin to do life in such a way that is intentional to help increase their self-value, their agency, and even their hope, so that they can have lives that are faithful, that are fruitful, and ultimately fulfilled. We want people to experience that life that Jesus promised us in John 10:10. He said the thief comes but to steal, to kill, and to destroy. But he said, I am come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. And we know that word Zoe, that word for life there, does not just mean a heartbeat, does not just mean you're walking around. It does not just mean you have breath in your body, but that word Zoe is an indication of a deeper form of life. It is the kind of life that only God can give. It is an abundance of life. It is what we would call human flourishing. And I believe that God has placed impact here in Spartanburg. I think God has strategically partnered us with Mission Alive to be agents of human flourishing right here in our neighborhood. I honor you for your time. I thank you for your commitment to planting missional movements, not just in Texas, but all over the US of A and abroad. I thank you for your partnership in prayer, in finances, even in exposing us to other people who may partner with us in the future, for your mentorship, for your guidance, for all the things you do. Thank you. I look forward to what God is continuing to do through you and through us collectively. I love you, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, family, so much for tuning in. Thank you for spending just a little time with me tonight. I honor you and I appreciate you. If you feel led to join us in this mission to help as many people as possible encounter Jesus, grow in community, and make an impact in the world, ways to do that will be on the screen. Let's connect. Let's have a conversation, and let's see what God will do through you in partnership with this mission. You may also want to help us financially spread the gospel and expand the kingdom. Ways to give will be on the screen as well. Sow good seed into good ground. And we believe when you sow good seed in the good ground, it has to produce a good harvest. I love you. I'm grateful for you. And I cannot wait to see you next time. I'll see you soon.